Hey guys, Lindsay here. It's a bright and beautiful morning at my house. Well, all around actually. Just felt like vlogging today because I've got a bunch of stuff on my mind. I always do, but today is one of those days where it's a little bittersweet for me. I always hope for my children to grow up into respectable, good individuals and that are mature and responsible and can handle themselves well as being kind to other people and taking into consideration the feelings of others and helping others. And one of the key things is I encourage my children to do is to be themselves and express themselves when necessary, and let other people know how they're feeling, but also be mature about it and understand that not everybody wants to know your problems. Anyway, as far as my kids expressing themselves, my younger son is having issues with that and expressing his feelings. Sometimes he expresses them a little too much and they frustrate those around them, especially me. I'm already feeling a little bit emotional about something, which I will tell you about after I tell you this story. So I have not had coffee yet at that point. I had made the coffee. I hadn't quite drank any of it. And my son is being his normal self in the morning and wanting to be a little defiant. I usually let my kids know what the weather forecast is going to be so they know how to dress. My daughter's pretty good about paying attention to the weather. My 9-year-old sometimes has to ask. My 7-year-old, however, he doesn't ask. He just gets dressed. And he doesn't wait for me to tell him what he needs to wear. He doesn't let me help him pick out clothes. He's at that point where he wants to be independent, but yet he's not quite ready to be independent, if you know what I mean. Like, I want him to be his own person and have his own style, but I told him there's a limit to that sometimes. You can have your own personal style, but if you're in an area like we are, it gets cold in the fall and winter and you have to dress appropriately. You can't wear shorts and a tank top. So he knew he could wear his jacket, so he could wear a t-shirt, but then he wanted to wear shorts. Now, I told him it's going to be chilly today. His idea of chilly is, oh, I can just wear some long shorts and socks and pull up my socks and I'll be fine. No, I told him you need to wear pants. I gave him 3 pairs of pants to choose from. I gave him more than 3 chances to put them on. And I tried to be nice about it. I said, these will be better for you than the shorts because it will get cold. It's cold now and it's going to stay cold. And he says, but the sun's out. He gives me every excuse in the book, So I pull up my weather app on my phone and I say, look, this is the temperature now. It's cold. It's not going to get much warmer. He still didn't believe me. So you know what? I just decided I'm going to take him outside like that. I'm going to walk him to school the way he is, and he can see for himself that it's cold. Now, I will tell you how well that plan worked. Let's just say it ended with a fit on the way to school and me looking like a horrible mom. But you know what? I don't care. I know most of my parenting works, and sometimes it's just a little bit of a trial and error thing, which most of you parents probably know. We're not perfect. There's no perfect way to parent. You have to do what's best for your children and for you and your family dynamic. So what I do with my children may not work for someone else, but maybe they can take some elements from my parenting and, adapt it to their situation. Or I do the same thing. I will see another parent doing something and I'll say, you know what? Some of what they did actually looked like it might work in my house, but I may have to take parts of it and just, work with them. Anyway, so we're halfway to school and he realizes he should have listened to me and he wanted to turn back around and go change his pants. And I said, we're halfway to school. The heat's on in the school. You'll be fine for now. If you really, really need me to, I will bring you a pair of pants because I'm off work today. But something tells me, because he's a little hot box, he's always warm, I think he'll be okay. Now, if they go outside for recess and he runs around, he probably won't even notice. He'll get warm anyway. But I did stop him when we got into the school and he was whining, and I pointed his face towards me. And of course there were teachers looking on, but whatever. I wasn't doing it for them. I wasn't putting on a show. I looked at my son and I said, I understand you think you're going to freeze, but you won't. But if you do feel the need to put some longer pants on, you go to the office and have them call me or tell your teacher. I will bring you a pair of pants. And I also said, do you think maybe you're not going to argue with me next time I tell you what the weather is like and what type of clothing you need to wear? And he said, yes, Mommy. And he then apologized to me for arguing with me and for getting mean. Made me feel like a great mom, and I hugged him. I said, I love you. You have a great day at school today. So he went to school. Now, moving on to the other story I was going to tell you. This is the part that made my morning a little bittersweet and a little emotional. Now, as parents, we all want our children to stay young, and it's sad to watch them grow up because we know that means eventually they will move out and won't really need us as much anymore. But it's also nice when you see that they're growing into such great young men and young women and good, just well-rounded individuals, and that is what makes it all worth it. So today I got up and I got myself ready and I came into the rest of the house, and my daughter pulled me aside and had me go into her room, and she said, Mom, I think I started my period. Now, she just turned 12 in May, and honestly, she's a little bit older than I was when I started mine. So it wasn't a huge shock, but it's something I knew was coming, but I just wasn't as ready as I thought. But apparently she was. I must have done something good in preparing her and educating her, because she looked at me and said, Mom, I've got it handled. I already took care of everything, and I'm getting ready to go to school. I said, are you sure you want to go to school? I told her she had the option to stay home with me and handle it at home in case she had any issues. And she looked me right in the face and said, Mom, I have stuff I've got to do at school today. I have commitments I have to honor. I thought, wow, who is this young lady standing in front of me that used to be my little girl? I mean, she'll always be my little girl, my baby, but today she was this responsible, mature young woman. And at first it scared me, but then it made me want to cry tears of joy that I, as a mother, I did something so well in raising her. Her dad's helped, but I know he's not a woman, so he doesn't know how to handle a lot of these things, but I knew this day would come. I guess was expecting a little bit more panic and chaos, but she handled it with such poise and maturity that I couldn't be prouder. And she even said to me, Mom, and I'm not going to skip out on PE today. Exercise is good for me. You told me that. And I said, yes, it is. I did tell you that. It's really good to stay fit and healthy, and not just when you're, having your monthly cycle. It's a good idea to be healthy all around. And she acted like it was not a huge deal, and she went to school with her head held high, and that was that. And I just thought, wow, that is my daughter. I'm sorry to get so emotional, but it's like, here I'm losing my little girl, but I've gained this beautiful, strong, intelligent young woman. And I'm thankful that we're close enough that she and I can be open and honest with each other about things like this. And we are starting on this, well, I should say we've already started on this wellness journey together, and she's totally cool with being a part of it. She's all for it, and she wants to do the natural vitamins and supplements and things to keep herself healthy. And I think we're going to have to start a weekly exercise regimen. So anyway, so that's another thing I've got going for me right now. That's a new phase in our life. And another thing, since I was tired this morning, and yesterday I had a clumsy day, today I have what I call my adult sippy cup for my coffee with a lid, even though I'm home today, just in case I do feel a little clumsy. I won't spill so bad. So, I have yet to have breakfast because my nerves and my emotions are all over the place. I don't know if I can eat yet. I know I need to, so I'm gonna eat something. But I had to get that out of my system. So, for all of you parents dealing with any new changes or phases in life with you or your children, just understand you're not alone, and it's perfectly normal to be a little emotional or confused or just all over the place with it, you know? And it's okay to cry, and it's okay to let your children see you cry. I know a lot of women who they think that they shouldn't let their children see them upset. Even some women try to hide that from their husbands. You need to let them see that side of you, because it just shows them how human you are, and that you can be just as frustrated or upset or happy as they are. I mean, a lot of people like to show the happy parts, or they punish their children and then maybe feel bad about it later. But you know, I like to let my children know that after I've dealt out a punishment and I've explained to them, you know, why it was wrong and all that, I've gone through all that, and I've encouraged them to do better, that afterwards, maybe not right afterwards, but maybe later that day, when I am starting to feel a little upset about having to punish them, because I don't regret punishing them, but I feel bad that I have to punish them, because I should be, I don't know, I feel like I should be teaching them better. But you know, like I said before, sometimes it's a trial and error as a parent. So I will come to my children and say, you know, Mommy doesn't like to have to punish you, and it really does upset me that I have to do it, but there's a reason. Because I want them to see that I'm not doing it out of any hatred. I'm not doing it to be mean. I want them to understand that I'm doing it out of love, and that I want them to grow up to be good human beings, and just with good values and things. And I don't want them to be people that are going to be mean to someone else. And I want them to be respectful and kind and generous and thoughtful. And I'm going to go ahead and end this video, because if I keep talking, I'm going to be bawling like a baby. So anyway, that was just a little bit of my thoughts for the day. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of your week. God bless.